You're watching Corporate 2. I'm Jesse. I'm here with Greg.
Thanks for having me on your channel.
It's time for Mission 7 of the initiative. All right, chapter 7, page 7. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Later that night. Oh, there's no words here. He sees the car.
Mm-hmm.
He's scared.
Yeah.
He starts biking. He's biking like a maniac. He crashes himself. Ugh.
Let me help you up, Brock, and then you can help me. He calls him Brock. That's
He knows his name. That's his name.
No, it's Brock Sanders.
Oh, good.
That's the character's name.
No, is it? No, that's his name.
Maybe.
That's his name. Okay. Do not play a mission yet. Read page 25. Okay. Jumping us around here. All right, here we go. Page 25. How'd you get that cut on your forehead, Brock?
Oh, I just fell off my bike last night. I'm fine. Liar! Hey, Phil, if you want to make some cash, I know a guy that buys old toys and games.
Oh, my God. That guy made him try to steal the book from him. I won't part with it for less than $200. It's probably worth twice that.
Phil, please don't sell the game until we finish it. I want to see all the secrets.
Good point. I also want to see how it ends.
Well, let's make some progress then. Did I tell you about Secret 6? Play Mission 7 now. But to start, I am going to give Jesse an on-air apology.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, that got your attention. Well, the end of the last game, I think it was getting late. These aren't excuses, they're just reasons, like we were very, very late and after working all day and stuff like that. And I think we were about done there. And so I did not, I gave you a lot of guff for, I thought, making some not so good moves, inefficient moves. And but I didn't give you enough credit for really mathematically solving that thing over there very well. So you did really well at that. So I was a poor co-op teammate.
You were fine.
Yeah.
Those were definitely bad moves with the dog.
Yeah.
But I was just sort of invested in one after I fought. Can I suggest we put these off since they're for the these are not for our current game? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I felt I was very strongly against killing the dog, and then by the time we get to that other mission, I was like, all right, let's see what happens if we do try to kill the dog. Well, I know we went through this.
Yeah. No need to belabor, but you did a good job figuring that code out. That was really good.
And now I've got another one. It's more ambiguous this time. It says, what is the hidden message?
Yeah, so this time it's a little bit interesting because this whole area is locked down.
That's right.
And so picking up a key could get you in there. Or you could just ignore those. There's 9 tiles, which is a significant amount of tiles. So we're not playing with these 3 and those. So essentially,
but the red ones we are playing with.
So I mean, it's essentially like this block. That's a pretty big chunk.
Now, don't forget, you say ignore, but there's no we can stumble on these 2 key cards that would open up.
I'm just saying
doors.
if we decided to not. But there's red here.
We could decide to deliberately try to get the reds.
Yeah.
The other, it's actually interesting because the reds are maybe you should never spend time turning over. If we did what you said, don't turn over reds, they can't be symbols. Maybe you'd be better off. Okay, but we do have some new things. We have this is new, and that is the one with the recycle on it. Jumps to your room when you unveil it. And what does this thing do again? It's a siren. It's an alarm. It's called.
Yeah,
when you perform a you remember? Okay, go ahead, say it.
When you perform a gather action, something happens.
You have to use your highest card.
Yeah, that's it.
You have to use your highest card.
So, and then we have a safe here, which means that we can't gather or we can't intel that room.
That's right.
And that's 5. So it's very intentionally set up. I will say this, that if I'm sitting here, there's red and red. Sorry. So, I mean, if I sit here, I could do these 3 rooms quite well.
Good. Yeah, you could do that
twice. 1,
twice.
2, 3, 4, but it'd take me 4 to get over there, so it's not that as compelling. But I wonder if I went this way. 1. So if I do those, then if I sat here, I could do just those 2. So it's not as useful. Oops, this is 2 and 2. Yeah. I could start off 1, 2, 3. I could start off, working those down.
We had this discussion before. I'm not convinced that your ability is the efficient way to do 2s, but it does avoid the traps, yes.
Only bummer is that it will take me 2 moves to get over there. No.
Mhm.
Well, let's shall we?
Okay, so I've got one low card, one medium, and some high cards.
I've got all high, so this is going to be very bad for us.
All right. Well,
Well, I wonder then if actually what I should do is well, you could go first, of course, but I wonder if I should use my ability just to purge my hand some, just on these top.
well, that's not a
I
crazy
could go
idea.
twice and just do these 4.
I mean, you could move.
No, stay where I am, purge a little, draw 4 new cards, and place.
You
them
use.
there
You mean
around.
use your ability just to look at one of
This
these?
and this?
How
This.
do you do
Oh,
this
it's this one. Oh, sorry, I was thinking this was connected
Oh,
here.
yeah. Okay. So
Well, it
get
would be these 2 and this one, but
Oh.
I could do it once just to do this and this, but that might not really be worth it. Of course, this is a soul one, and if it's not useful, it keeps us from having to go there and pick it up.
Well, that's true.
The thing is, I need some low cards because this is like a complete blank canvas.
Do you have a super low card?
No, I have all high
Okay,
cards.
so I think I should go first and do something with
Okay.
this card.
Remember, if I'm going to sit here, I'm going to do these. This is actually another point. I thought about switching roles with you.
How's that? So we could see
There's
how
a-
the others play?
And we're going to talk about this when we do our player count or whatever,
Okay.
stuff like that. But so I think my ability is something that I feel like should be done a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, this is like a psychological thing of like where people always want to do their power.
That's true.
And so, what you should do when you select characters is select the character that you think should be done a lot. So therefore, I think I should give you this because I want you to be doing this, but I don't want you to do yours as often.
Mm-hmm.
And since you'll probably be inclined to want to do it as often, I should take that one because I'm better at
Interesting.
It's like a psychological thing that you can't see that, by the way. It has to come down.
Oh, yeah, good point.
So it's just like a weird, kind of a funny psychological thing. Like if you're like, well, that power is good, but I don't want people using it.
Well, that's interesting idea. You want to switch and try it? Try a different character?
Well, we've come this far.
We've come no far. We haven't done
Well, actually, we
anything.
have dealt out the cards and stuff.
Yes, we have. We haven't made any decisions yet. then.
Yeah, but I mean, I know if I hadn't, I would have moved over and done my thing. So next game, let's do it.
Okay.
Before we deal out stuff and show
All right.
reveal cards.
So I think what I should do is play a low card to do something. I could either intel. I feel like the intel is actually quite useful.
Yeah, but you get the traps as well.
That's
Well,
true.
intel avoids these traps and helps you to avoid those traps.
Mhm.
So that is useful. But these other 4 are not so good. But yeah, I guess really honestly, the traps are not that bad as long
They
as
aren't that bad.
But I
They're
mean,
better to do them with you, but
interestingly though, here's the thing: is like if you were to intel and happen to get those 2 on one go, it would be much more efficient. But I guess the odds are pretty low.
Yes. All right. So I think I'm going to intel. I'm going to intel here because then we'll know if we never want to have to come this way, we won't unlock this door. We'll unlock this door, but
Okay.
if it's good, we might be there. So I'm going to intel with a 2. I'm going to reveal these one at a time.
Mhm.
There's that
We have
symbol,
it.
which is nice to get, and
then
there's the no walking.
that's terrible.
That's pretty
Okay, hold on.
terrible.
Actually, oh, never mind. I was like, oh, I could use a high card here and then. Okay, but well, whatever.
Do you have some medium cards?
Okay. What do you think, Jesse?
Are you saying you don't even have medium cards?
Well, I'll have some medium high cards, I guess.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'm going to stop there and take a card. Okay, now I have a lowish card,
Okay.
but not before I
Ready?
did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to throw away 2.
Okay.
And I'm going to do this and this. So that's nice. What's
That
that? Do we
is
have that
nice.
one? Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's
Put it
one action.
there so you can. Sorry, it's not there. It's in this room here.
I mean, I guess I'm just going to draw. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm. For sure. If you don't have good cards to play.
My situation has not improved very well. Very much. Very well.
All
Very much.
right.
So today, Jesse actually, this is, I had the day off. Jesse went on a 4-hour bike ride, and I went on a ice cream crawl, and I went to, my friend had a night gallery night, showed his favorite 5. First season, Night Gallery episodes. He laid out the paintings and stuff. Very cool. And now I'm over here doing this. I've had a jam-packed
Busy
day. A lot of talking, so maybe that's why I'm not so as talky. Does it feel quiet in here? It feels quiet.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you think, like, you normally go to a space, you do your special ability, and you leave your space alone? Does it make sense to intel the space you're planning on standing on? It could backfire because you could get one of these. But on the other hand, it could let you pick up while you're there instead of having to leave there and then come back. Or would you rather pick up blind?
I almost think it's worth picking up blind. That gas
I think
is
it
not
is
that big a
worth
thing.
picking up blind. If
I mean,
you're going to be in a space, if you're going to be in a
No.
space, it's worth the risk to pick up.
I agree with that.
It's better to intel spaces that you might not have to go to.
I agree with that.
Okay. So then, I think what I'll do is I'm going to intel again. I'm going to intel here.
You cannot. Oh, you can, yes.
And then maybe we don't have to go there. We know we're going to have to go here. We want that double.
Well, hold on a second now. If we plan on going in here, we're probably going to do a lot of stuff in there. So it seems like intelling might not be a good idea.
Well,
So-
this will save us from having to spend a whole move to get in here, and then a gather, and then a whole move out. That's 3 turns it could save us if we don't want it.
But this is still going to be a stack of 5.
Well, yeah, we'll probably want to go there. I'm just saying, like, we know we want to go here. Maybe we don't ever have to go here.
So if I'm going to stand here and reveal these rooms, right? Then this room is kind of up for grabs. Like the problem with the onesie stuff is that like they're kind of inefficient, so you stay away from them. Is that maybe whatever? I mean, I'm not. This one is a good one maybe because like we're not, it's within walking and picking up distance, but it's not like it's not close to anything else that we might want. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Do whatever you want. Pick that one if you want.
I'm gonna pick that one. Let's see what we got here. This is not in our list, right? And this one
There's a
is
camera.
a camera. Okay, so that's good. We don't ever have to go there.
Are you done, or you want to?
I think.
I mean, by this rush, now you might as well do this one.
Except we think we're going to have to come in here. There's probably going to be something.
Well, the logic of doing this is the same logic as doing
Oh
that.
no, we have to come through here, so we'll be walking.
Well,
past
unless
this guy.
you're going to go up that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now we know we have to come here,
Mhm.
so probably we're going to come up this way.
Okay.
Now we don't have to unlock that door.
Okay.
We don't have to come in
Oh,
that
I
way.
see the logic there.
All right. I'm thinking I'm going to intel again, and I'll tell you why. Because I've got a good card for that, and I don't want to ruin anything else.
Okay.
So I'm going to go there and intel. But now I'm open to where to intel. In fact, I think your logic about this makes
Yeah.
sense.
Or this, I guess, but whatever.
Well, I haven't looked. You got a preference?
So if I sit here and like drain these 3 spots, right?
I'll tell you why not to go here.
What?
If you, 1, 2, 3. You can't. This is where you're going to go.
No,
and you
I
can
want to
get-
go here.
Oh, you want to go there. Okay, so then you might go 1, 2, 3 as your first move and gather, and then move to your favorite spot or
Okay.
your favorite spot on the way. All right, I'm going to reveal here.
I also think if your logic holds that you're if
Uh-huh.
you're not going to go through this door,
Mhm.
then figuring out what that is actually quite helpful.
I do agree with that, except there's only one there.
Can I also make one more point?
Mhm.
I can't actually move on my turn because I don't have a card to regroup with, and I can't get rid of this.
Can you? Do you have something you can do?
Not really. I have to move to do something good.
Do you have a low card to regroup with?
I just said that.
You just have medium cards.
Do you have a low card to regroup?
I don't.
Well, you
Well,
could
what
play
are
a
we
higher
gonna
card
do?
to regroup, and then regroup later by doing your special ability,
Yes, I could.
and that might be something to do. Or I could also do the same thing and I could regroup with a high card, knowing you can use your ability to get rid of it.
Tricky. Well, someone can regroup with at the highest card you have, and then I could use my ability to get rid of it for sure. So maybe I'll still do this here, and then if you've got nothing to do, you can just throw away your high card on regroup. All right, let's do that. I'm intelling. Okay.
We need it.
We do need
Mhm.
it. Good. And we need it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good stop.
Mhm.
Okay. You
Okay,
done?
so I'm done. I get 2
2
cards.
cards.
Mhm.
Okay.
I've got some low cards now.
Regroup
Mhm.
and run. 1, 2, 3.
How did you run?
I just. Oh, sorry.
Alright.
Wait, what did I do? Oh, I put it here. I put it in the wrong spot. That's all I got.
Okay.
Now I've got some low cards.
Okay.
Where were you last 2 turns?
Okay. All right.
Oh.
So I think I'm going to end up doing this here after I do something. So I do this, I remove this card, and I'm going to clear one of these piles.
Okay, I don't think that's a good use of cards at the
Oh, yeah?
moment because like I'm gonna take this action
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna do my special ability, right? So I'm gonna
You've got a card to put on top of
I
that.
do. So like we might as well wait for me to do that, right? Rather than.
But do you have the highest card possible?
I mean, I have a couple of high cards to play on.
But
there.
do you have the highest
Why?
card?
Do you have 4 12s on in your hand?
Well, I have running is a good thing for me to do now. But if I do that, there's a good chance you won't be able to run.
Okay.
Unless you have the highest card.
Okay, so that's gonna be bad for me.
Okay, you don't have the highest card. All right.
I can't tell you that.
Yeah. You kind of did, in a way, but yeah.
That's why this is like a nightmare of like.
That's all right. Okay, but the problem is then I've got to do something. I agree with you. It'd be nice to regroup a run when it gets bigger, but well, I suppose I could. No, I mean I could run and
it's just
then
really
regroup.
unfortunate that
I could run and then regroup the run, which is probably what I should do.
I mean, that's 3 whole cards. That's such a huge amount of cards.
Well, I have to regroup eventually, and I got to do something.
Why
and
is
I can't
this one seems really odd because like we actually like 2 of the symbols are the same. It looks like a much easier puzzle. Like
it does look a little easier, except we don't know if that's going to be hard to figure out once we unveil that. Okay, but I'm just going to do this. I think it's time to do this.
I just feel like in general, this throwing 2 cards away is a big deal, and you do it to regroup quite a lot. Can't you just play a card on the regroup?
I could play a super high card on the regroup.
I mean,
and that's how I got us into trouble last time. What I did was I played a card that was high, figuring I'll just take it off. But now I've made it, because this 6 is here, I've made it hard to regroup with a card. And if I put a super high card, it's even harder. I think I know what to do. I'm gonna play this here. I'm gonna run down to here to pick up these, I think. And then I'm going to regroup. I'm going to play this to get rid of these. These are all discards. And now I need 3 cards.
Okay.
All right, got low and high.
Run. And use my power. This one, which we need.
First one we don't need.
And that one's gone. Is the first one we don't need?
Yeah.
Done. I'll like this, I guess. All right.
All right. So I'm going to gather these 2. That's that one here. A Z.
And then that one's on the last figure.
And an H.
Else?
I think I should pass. Because I don't have a super low card on those runs and gaps. Wow, I got high cards now.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
It goes there. This symbol is
That's-
not there,
Okay.
and this symbol is.
Oh, got rid of that. That's good.
That was my first action. I guess I could do this again because I want these, right? Want to get those if we're gonna get in the keys.
I think we will want one of those keys. So yes, and you kill the traps. So that's even better reason. That's a great reason for you to do it. Like you'll kill all those red traps.
But we're like just burning through
I know.
cards. There's a key card.
Okay, so right now let's see. Is it when you collect it, and when you collect it, you flip open a door. So you actually have to
Oh,
go
is
in
that
there
right?
and collect it to flip open a
Okay,
door.
well, that's a lot of actions too. Some
But
low-
it is on the way.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about. I mean, we have. So first of all, we have 1, 2, 3. I should have done this before I've done my power. 1, 2, 3, 4 symbols.
Which
Right.
which this is a double, so it's actually this is a double too. So the cards we have here will turn over
1,
6
2,
things.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and those will do 1, 2, 3, 4,
5,
5,
6.
6. No, more than that. 1,
6
2. Oh
of
yeah,
the
6.
8. 6 of the
Yeah,
8.
maybe we should switch because I mean, there's not much left. Maybe we should
I
switch
think that's
to.
a good idea. I think we.
However,
go
this
and
is
gather.
1, 2, 3, 4 gather actions, 4, 8. So
Mhm.
it's 8 moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That'll leave us with 2 cards left. I think we gotta maybe switch to that. I think that was a mistake of me to do that last move, maybe, because it essentially got the 2 red ones, and if we're not
But
gonna
didn't
go
it turn over one of these?
no, because it was just the
Okay.
2 reds. So
Alright. Well, we
my
got
error.
very lucky with these. Okay, that's a single. That's a single. No.
They're inefficient.
Yeah,
They're
both single.
inefficiently placed for sure.
Mhm.
So if I were to pick this one up, say 1, 2, 3, I could get to this one or this one, right? So if you were to move 1, 2, and then 1, 2, I could go 1, 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think
you
that
should probably
makes
take those
sense.
two, and I should do those
Mhm.
two. Now we need to really be careful about running and gathering, right?
Well, I'm gonna end up doing my regroup to do some of that because I don't have a good option here. I'll run to.
Probably this is the better one, right?
Nope, actually, this is better because
1,
this
2.
could be a block. I'd rather pick
Okay,
up
that's
this
a good point.
first and get that
All
one.
right, you're gonna.
All right, I'm gonna stop now. I have all high cards.
Well, you need 1.
One.
Does it
Yeah.
look like you just have 2 cards? You have 3,
Okay.
4. You have 4.
Now I have 4. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna run. Now that is a good. I'm like, should I just pick that one up because I'm here? But actually, the math doesn't work. Like right now,
There's only 2 more symbols for us to find, right?
yeah. If we
So
have 2
maybe-
cards to spare in the deck,
Uh-huh.
then we need we need essentially all the actions because we probably have to use regroup or
And
whatever.
and look how many traps are out. So yeah, I think no more turning over.
Okay,
if
so
you
this
can
is
help it.
really abysmal because. Do you have a low card for regrouping?
I have a medium to low card to regroup.
Because
but I'm gonna have to use this power soon because I have super high cards that are not gonna be able to.
Because I mean, I have some low, very very advantageous cards to use, but you kind of
It's too
block
high now.
these up.
Mhm.
So I could use cards. I'm gonna have to do both of them. So I guess I am gonna have to block them up. But I could regroup also. Oh, hold on. Oh, no.
It's a good question.
So I think maybe we limit our. This is okay. Since we know we're both gonna be moving and picking up, moving and picking up, moving and picking up, right? That's essentially you're gonna pick up, move, pick up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna move, pick up, move, pick up. So why don't we slow it down,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we only have to take one action if we want to,
Mm-hmm.
and let's really work.
I agree with
Okay,
one
carefully.
action for.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Why don't? Because I have some low cards to regroup. If we have technically 2 extra cards,
Mhm.
right? I'll use one of my low ones on regroup. So I'm gonna move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that's the first thing I have to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna move it's from a 5 to a 6.
Good.
Okay, I'm gonna go here. Actually, I could go here because this is worth double. No, they're both double. Okay.
There is a reason to go here. Well, okay, here's the only other thought. If we think we might, like this is the only singleton, no, these 2 are singletons. Okay, right.
Those two are for you. These two are for me.
Well, I know that was the plan. I still think that's probably the good idea. But remember, these are singletons. Like, if we only had enough time to run and gather two, it should be these two.
Yeah, but
But
I'll
we
take
think
care
we're
of
gonna
that.
have time. I'm just saying, if we
Well,
only have
we
time.
technically have 2 extra cards, and that's not counting when we get into peril.
Okay.
But I'm gonna also tell you this: this symbol
Mm-hmm.
is repeated, which means it's probably an O or an L or a T
Uh-huh.
or an N, right? So we have a little more, whatever room, right?
Okay.
Okay. So in this state, do you have? I mean, should I regroup or should
You
I?
shouldn't regroup.
Okay. So are you?
You've got a nice low card to regroup.
Do you have very high cards? Because if I have to, either I'm going to regroup or I'm going to stop.
Yeah, you should stop and not
stopping.
regroup yet, for sure.
Go ahead. I have very low cards.
Okay. I'm gonna gather
Uh-huh.
to pick up this,
Uh-huh.
which is this one here.
So every time we've played this,
Oh.
you and I are like panicked to try to uncover the entire thing, when in reality, it's not.
I think we did a good strategy here in terms of like we've got 6 things.
Yeah.
Now stop.
Okay. Are you stopping?
Nope.
Okay.
Because
gonna
you're
run?
gonna regroup. So I'm gonna run with a 10.
That's a good plan.
Okay, and then I'm gonna run here, which
Mhm.
could get us in trouble.
Okay. Now you're going to stop.
And now I have to stop, but I need 2
Okay.
cards.
So I'm going to. This might screw us up a little bit, our tempo, but I got to do something.
Okay.
So I'm going to play a high card here,
Okay.
and I'm going to pick this up. And that's at the beginning and the end, right?
Yeah, that's a nice place for it to be.
Okay, it's obviously scrambled, by the way. Or we have to remember this too. It could be a cipher,
It
which is
absolutely
actually pretty
could.
cool. So, okay, now, Jesse,
Mm-hmm.
should I stop? Can you do an action right now, or should I regroup?
I think you need to regroup. As long as you've got a lowish card to regroup, you should regroup.
Okay, I'm gonna regroup this gather.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that's the next action you do, and then that my turn's over.
Mhm.
If it's a cipher, if it's if we have to unscramble it, it'll be much harder not having a couple of the symbols. But if we have to,
It's got to be a cipher. There's no way that
yes,
it's going to
I
make
agree.
it so that if we don't,
I think it's very likely.
All right. Well, no,
I can regroup very effectively again. So
you can regroup effectively again.
So now there's 4 cards here. You could do your ability if you wanted to regroup, but it's not that necessary here now. I can regroup. Can you pick up and run, or can you just pick up and then leave the running off?
Yeah, I can't run this.
Do you have a low
turn.
card for?
I have a low-ish
gather?
card, which I'm considering spending. But then someone's going to have to regroup the run.
I will regroup the run.
Okay.
Okay.
Take this first, which is a choice you can make.
Now you don't have to pick up the other one, but
And I don't have to pick up the other
now
one.
the thing is though that
It's
we
really an interesting point.
Now let's look at it.
Yeah.
If it's the run, I'm going to regroup that anyway. If it's intel, we don't care. If it's the gas or that will be a bit of a problem, but I think it's a
Not
risk I
huge.
would take.
There's 2 symbols left.
Well, so that's actually maybe not a risk we should take, because
It's not.
it's
The
2 out of.
odds are pretty
Oh,
bad.
okay.
Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Well, actually, the run is here.
Uh-huh.
So intel we don't care about. The cloud, the gas we do, and the surveillance camera we certainly do. So maybe it isn't worth doing. So essentially we have one more symbol that'll do those 2, and then we need 2 more symbols. So we need 2 out of. Okay, so in that little black and white moment there, or the little transition, we actually had
dip to black.
Yeah, we did a little dip to black. Had some pizza, made an absolute mess on this table again, which seems to be very difficult to clean up. And we had a very lengthy conversation as to the wisdom of picking up this tile. I don't think it's as good an idea as Jesse does, but I don't think it's going to hurt us. So
Yeah, I don't think it's going to lead to anything good, but I don't think it's going to hurt. Stop us.
The odds are
All right,
staggeringly
here we
against
go.
us. Yeah.
This is part of my gather action for free. Okay. All right, it didn't hurt us, but it's not on the board. All right. So that was my first action.
Which I think you should hold off now.
Yeah, there's no reason for me to go now.
And we flipped him over. We had this moment of like we went down to get the pizza. We came back up and we couldn't remember what was
Whose
happening.
turn it was?
But he had 3 cards, and so we like put this down and set the file on top of him, so to remember that like that you were in the middle of a gather action.
Okay, I'm stopping
It is
now.
a
I'm drawing a card.
Very real conundrum when like you like stop for some reason, and then you have to come back and be like, wait, what
It's a great idea. Like that seems like there should be that one should get into a generic solution habit. Like when whoever's turn it is, you put their player piece on top of some deck.
Pathfinder, when you draw a card, Pathfinder, the adventure card game, which I don't think is very good, but like you sort of point the card, your encounter card, at you, and so you can see at a glance the last person to go, which I think is kind of cool.
Great idea. I suggest that in the future of these games, this only works if we have these things. We could just like stack these so that the person whose turn it is on top.
It's not a bad idea.
But that will only work for
certain a lot of games you have though. Okay, so
we could use our die. That would be a generic solution. Put that on the J or the G.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to regroup these, and then I'm going to run up here, and that's my turn.
No
which
gather.
We discussed with.
No gather, huh?
I can't. I can only do 2 actions. I'm going to draw 2 cards. There's only 1 card left. So remember that if you can regroup, and put like 3 cards back, but I don't. Yeah, it's probably not worth spending a card to regroup this one.
Here's a question: do you need me to regroup to gather? There's the 5. Okay, no. And that's the.
I mean, it wouldn't be actually a bad idea to place something on Intel, say, and then regroup, or use your power, because now burning through 2 cards. Well, no, because you'll draw more cards, I guess. But now it wouldn't necessarily be as bad an idea to get 2 cards in this card, just because it makes the deck thicker. Although the math of that maybe with you spending the 2. These are all like fine detail things that probably don't matter anyway.
We just have to make sure nothing can make us draw 2 cards before you gather. Everything else is just a freebie.
So when you draw this, if you were only to draw 1, do you then shuffle this together, or it's only when you go to draw?
When you would go to draw, you'd shuffle, and at that point you don't have to draw it. Yeah.
So you could actually do like an Intel say.
I could do 2 actions and empty my hand. I'd still only have to draw 1 card.
No, my point is like if you draw this 1 card, could then I go before we have to shuffle this into this?
Yes, I think so.
Sure, that's not a convincing thing that you said to me. So
I'm trying to think of a way to squeeze another shot at this.
Well, I think that you should play 1 card for it. Can I ask you the instructions? I just want to see when you have to.
There's the instructions, and here's instructions.
So revealing clues, special actions, collecting clues, traps.
Running out of cards.
When there are no cards left. So
really, not when you have to draw.
Yeah. So it actually makes now would be a better chance to do something like.
That's good. You found that. Right. If you're interrupted, if this interrupted you drawing cards, create the deck and then continue drawing. Okay.
But you could decide to stop at that point.
Yes, you could.
So it doesn't matter. Whatever you do, you're going to spend a card and draw. So it doesn't matter. We're going to go in a pair. So both of these are still fairly low. But I mean, we do believe that we could just probably solve it, right? I mean, we're missing 2 things. As long as this is a cipher. I mean, at the moment, A or Z would be. Whoa.
Do you need when you want to win the game? I want to see when you have to stop. At any time, you can agree to solve the mission. So you don't even have to finish drawing You don't have to
You
finish
wanna-
your turn.
May I have those pens, please? I just kind of want to see where we're at right now. So, Z is A, E is V, and then we have 1, 2, 3 blanks. And then what's the next symbol? O. Is that correct, Jesse?
Z E blank 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 O blank
Blank. Yep.
S apostrophe and then E H.
E H. Okay, so this does not look good for us because it's like A V space 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 L space H apostrophe V S.
And we're gonna get only 2 more symbols.
Okay, but do you realize that like this is absolutely going to be descrambled and then ciphered? Or, oh no, the other cipher was, so there are 2 level cipher, right?
One was the symbols.
So you'd have
which
to do
we
the
don't
you'd have
have.
to do the symbols and then this. So actually, it's not.
We don't, because these are going to be closed up. All we have is normal letters.
Right. So what I'm saying is that we can't double cipher it.
Yeah.
So this actually is
But
a
it
little
could be
worse.
a scramble. So I think the thing for me to do is
Intel.
walk over to this spot.
Mhm.
That's our best pickup 2 chance.
This also. And
1,
this also.
2, 3. I could walk to this.
It doesn't matter actually whichever one you take because they're all equidistant from each other. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, although you could get to this 1, 2. No, you can't
No, I
get to
cannot.
the same. Okay. All right. I think then. Oh, as my second action, I hate to do it such a large
Oh, God.
card, but doesn't really matter.
I saw it already.
It's okay. I'm going to play this card, but I could do it. I could do it to use my ability.
Well, I can just keep passing then since you're gonna.
Let's do this. We probably won't get a chance to do any of these, but what the hell?
You draw how many?
1 card.
You only draw 1 card.
That's a good question. Something went wrong.
No, it's because
I drew up.
No, it's okay. It's because you because I took my action so quickly.
Oh, it was my turn.
Yeah,
again.
you only did
Oh,
one.
that was right. Okay. All right.
So I'm obviously going to.
But in that case, I have another action.
But you just drew a card. You know what the card is.
But
You
if
know
I
what
have
it is.
I know, but if I had another, I'm not going to use it. If I had another action, no, I wouldn't gather. That's too dangerous. That's too dangerous.
Yes,
to gather.
obviously.
Although it's not really. Because the worst thing that would happen is we draw 1 of those cards off the deck.
Yeah, but
And then you'd still get to do your turn. So it's not really dangerous. But
okay.
it's
Do you
okay.
want
I
to
might
shuffle
as
this
well wait.
because then I won't get yelled at
Mhm.
if we get a time card, even though it's completely random.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's crazy that pizza just like universally like everyone everywhere has pizza all the time. Well, that's not true. In this country, it's like it's very common.
And there are a few dishes that one doesn't seem to get tired of for a long time.
Okay, so
it's your turn.
clearly I'm just gonna gather.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna move anywhere because drawing cards is useless because like what am I
There's
gonna do?
no point ever doing 2 actions
I'm gonna
if the other person
gather.
Can go.
and you're gonna tell me what that symbol means.
Okay.
So if it's a cipher,
Mhm.
the T is a G. Okay. Or we have. Can you read the actual thing to me?
ZE blank TTO blank S apostrophe EH. And the S apostrophe is 1 letter.
So. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, Ah, yes. Good, very good. So he's
He's
got two A's.
he's got two A's.
Wait,
Or he's not two A's.
yeah, because
He's
he
not
can't be
two
G.
A's.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
gonna
so
be
it
not.
is.
However, now we've got a situation where we could be wrong on one letter. It is he's either not two A's or he's got two A's. It's a little we know this one, but it would be nice to know what this letter is. He's not two A's would be my guess.
Okay.
Okay. So
So-
now you're not drawing and it's my turn.
Hold on. Stop.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take another action.
Okay. Wait.
I'm gonna intel.
I don't see anything wrong with that as long as you don't have to draw cards. Here's the thing.
I'm not going to reverse.
When I pick these two up,
Mhm.
it could make us lose a card. Although we could jump and answer it without
Right,
ending that
correct.
turn.
That's my point.
But in general,
So
like
if,
drawing a card.
if I
Mhm.
I'm in a good position to intel,
Mhm.
I could intel. Actually, let's think of it this way.
Mhm.
Okay, because we can pass,
Mhm.
right? Then we are in a position where we would ideally each of us just spend all of our cards down without drawing any cards. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, if we can do useful things with our cards.
Correct.
Sure.
So I think that I can intel some.
Mhm.
If you pass, then I can intel some until I exhausted my options, thereby then allowing you to use your cards to move around and secure things.
It's not a bad idea. I've got fairly high cards, but one I've got a low card I
I'm
can't
not going to do
use.
anything but intel. So I'm going to intel, and I think you should pass, and I should intel again. Are you okay with that?
Do it until I tell you to stop.
Okay, so I'm going to do this. You're not going to intel anyway.
Well, I might have a card to intel.
Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to check this one.
Yes, ones I can reach.
Well,
1, 2, 3.
These are the three.
Yep.
Essentially, you're here.
Mhm.
So if this is something, the symbol we need,
Yep.
then you won't gather. You'll
Yep.
come down here. That was
Yep.
my point.
Yep.
Okay. Although the surveillance camera won't hurt us.
Surveillance camera won't hurt us. Nothing
The
will
gas
hurt
won't
us.
hurt us.
The
The
intel
intel
will
will.
stop us from intelling.
Okay. Is that one we need?
Nope.
Is that one we
Nope.
need? Okay. So I think I'm not going to draw. It's your
Mhm.
turn. Can I go and then intel again? So can you pass? I mean, you are allowed to pass. Or is it only when you don't have an action?
No, you can pass. You can take 0 actions. You can just pass if you want. When you're in peril. Drawing cards at the end. Whenever you have the time card, you're in peril. Drawing cards at the end of your turn is in peril. When in peril, you may be forced to pass your turn. Normally, you need to perform at least one action on your turn. If you cannot perform any actions, you are forced to pass.
Which means that you are required to do something.
We might have done that wrong.
We absolutely did it wrong. We played this wrong.
How did we play wrong?
Well, prior to this, we were just passing.
We passed.
So, because it doesn't matter really, you could purge your hand on your ability without really using your ability.
I could,
but it's not worthwhile to do so.
I'm going to take an action. I'm going to pick up those things under me. I'm going to gather these two, which that's fine because one of them may require
What is it?
That's a security camera, and this, which is not on our board.
Okay. Well, now you have to move.
Now I have to move, or we eat up a card.
Oh, that's true because you don't have to draw.
But I am going to move. I'm going to move down to here, I guess. Will I be able to gather after that? Yes.
Well, okay.
I'm going to move there where there's 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I'm not going to draw any cards.
Okay, so now what I should do is, well, are you able to play cards? Because I could.
I am able to play a gather and pick up those 2.
Okay, so what I could do actually is intel this space.
You could intel it. It won't. The worst case scenario does not force us to discard a card, so that's safe.
Okay, so it's this, which goes on the intel action.
Okay.
And it's that.
Don't need it.
You sure?
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then
No.
don't draw any cards.
I'm not going to.
Only gather. Okay, it's a gas, which makes me throw away a card.
I didn't think it was that fun.
And this one, which is a gas, makes me throw away a card, which I don't have.
Okay. Now, let me just think for a moment. I mean, we are really stuck here because you can't effectively do anything, right?
There's 2 possible places where there could be good stuff.
There's here.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is, let's just leave it like that so we can see. Mm-hmm. Obviously here, and obviously it's in there. So I have to move here, gather.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actions potentially, right?
Mhm.
So I could, I mean, essentially, I'm going to have to regroup, right? We can't intel this space anyway, right? So,
We can't until that space. That's right.
so the question becomes, do we? Okay. So as I see it,
Mhm.
unless you have any other thoughts, like this is a much more lucrative spot to go to, but it's going to take moving, picking up, moving, gathering, right?
Mhm.
So move, gather, right?
Mhm.
Alternatively,
Mhm.
we could intel, that's 2, 3, 4, that's 4 actions. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. We both, you can move there or whatever, right? So
Mhm.
if it's one of these two, that is the one that we need, right? Which is this symbol right here, the
Yeah, we only
Y.
want that one.
That's the one that we want.
Mhm.
So, I mean, let's face it, there's a much greater odds that it's there, but it will take many more actions to do it.
Mhm.
But we could just each round draw and draw and draw.
I mean, until we get the clock, we might as well do try to gather this. But so then I should
Hold on.
pick
So
up
it's still my
stuff.
turn, right?
I know, but I should pick up stuff.
Yeah. Let me just point out this though.
Wait, it's the end of my turn, so it's time for me to draw.
Oh, it is right. Okay, yeah,
So
yeah,
I
sure.
should draw a
Yep.
card until we get a
Whoa,
clock. As
whoa, whoa.
soon as we get a clock,
Don't go crazy because
well,
I need
I
cards
get
as
at
well.
least, yeah.
Because if we decide to do this, I should be the one drawing the card. So you got really crazy there drawing cards.
Well, no, I mean I'm gonna need to be doing stuff
What do you need to do?
too. I'm gonna pick up these. Like
I,
one of us could go
First of
do
all,
this,
I
and one of
think
us
we're
could
not
do
going to have
this.
time to do both those. That's what I was thinking.
We
Like,
don't know. We don't know. We might have time to do everything. We
okay,
might not.
okay. So now I'm not going to go in here now. We're going to go with your strategy.
My strategy is that one of us goes for these and one
I
of
think
us
there's
goes for
not enough
these.
time to do both.
There might not be. There
So
might
I'd
not be.
rather just keep passing and allow you to do those two, because you already drew 2 cards.
Mhm.
You're eating into the deck.
Well,
We
but
should have.
having only 2 cards means we have to start doing inefficient things that we could do better if we had better cards.
Well, that's true too. But drawing the cards is what ends the game. I'm just saying we should have locked before you drew. We should have locked into one strategy. So you drew, and that's fine. But I'm going to lock into this. I would rather lock into this strategy. I think that's more lucrative, but it takes
You're
more
going to
actions.
have to, on your turn, play that card somewhere. If you can regroup, if you have any card higher than a 2, you'll be regrouping, which isn't the worst thing to do. But I, I'm not.
I'm going to regroup.
Okay, okay. We're we're antagonistic today. We're on each other's nerves.
You just said I had to regroup. You said
I know,
you
but
just said
but I could draw more
sorry.
cards.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'm gonna draw one more card. Okay, that's
Okay.
a better set of cards.
Okay.
All right, you're regrouping. Which one did you regroup? The move, the run. All right, that's not bad.
And I'm not drawing any cards.
All right, well, we'll take a 4 move to here then a 6. Sorry,
There is a
11
danger now,
together.
by the way, and
There's no danger yet, right?
there's a danger if there's a if you reveal a security
But
camera.
not really, right? Because it could only be 1 clock. It
Mhm.
can't end the game for us. The moment we get our 1 clock, we stop, just like we've been
I'm
doing.
just making you aware that that
Yeah.
isn't out there.
All right, so I'm going to gather that with an 11.
Go ahead.
All right, that's not on the board. All right, I'm going to draw cards. I'd ideally like to move 1, 2, 3, or 1 pick up and go for that. But let's draw cards until we're in any risk. I'm going to draw again. Okay, there's our first clock, so now we stop. Oh, we stop. We can't do anything else. There's no way to gather. Well, technically there is. Just thinking about it.
Well, you have to hold on for a second. 1, 2. Why don't you go?
I could move,
Uh-huh.
and then I could use this to gather.
1, 2, 3.
And then I could use this to gather, throwing away this card. But now, here's where we have to decide on this rule. If it's a security camera,
Yeah, then we can.
we can end the game before we have to draw it.
Correct.
Okay, so let's do that. Then we did that. So we pick up. Look at that.
Oh my god. Wow.
It's the one we wanted. All right, that was very lucky. All right, he's not. That's what we
not
were
2s.
gonna get.
Okay, so we've guessed that now.
So we're stopping.
We obviously
We're
stopping.
stopping with both of us having
Look
no
at me,
cards in
watch what I'm
hand.
doing here, Jesse.
What's that? That's like the no going back.
It's too late.
No.
I've already picked up the cards.
That's crazy that was there.
That's very fortunate. But again, I felt like that's why I stopped drawing, because I'm like, it's one or the other that we're doing. I mean, there's never gonna be a situation where we were gonna risk like losing the game. Are there really only 3 clocks? Oh, 4. No.
Yeah.
There was never gonna be in a situation where we were gonna be able to pick this up and go in here and do both those.
Yeah, probably not. We would have played until we got.
So
our
we
card.
were
We
very,
did play.
very lucky that stuff was not. Now,
Yeah.
had we intel there and there was stuff in there, then we would have been forced to take. Well, not forced, but we probably.
That was a weird game where we didn't.
But
go
I
into
made
that
one
area.
one mistake, I think,
Yeah.
which was to reveal those 2 reds, since we weren't going to go into that area.
Were we sure at that point we weren't going to go in?
That's when we decided like we were going to gather the letters. So I should not have done that.
It's very possible that we might have had to go in there.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that was out there. Okay, so we think this is red reverse. He's not 2S.
It's absolutely that.
So we think this is a U. You ready to guess?
Yeah.
Okay, there's the U. He's not 2S.
So what was the message we got? Well, you can pull it out and it's going to give us some secrets.
It scared me here. Look, I'm turning these over. They're all blank, Greg. Look.
So Mr. 2 is in 18 Halpon Street, means that maybe that. So
Well, it's the guy that we met is not 2S, right? You wait on that. It's saying that the guy that is in the car is not 2S, maybe.
let's. So we don't get a secret from this.
I'm
You
gonna
pull
go
it out.
look it up for this. All right. Well, let's go through the steps here. That was chapter 7. Okay. There's nothing you read at the end of chapter 7.
Well, we just go to the next thing.
Just go to chapter 8.
Well, will Jesse and my friendship last to the end of this campaign?
What do we call it?
Stay tuned.
Competitive co-op for 2. Okay. You ready to read this, or shall we?
Thanks for
wait?
joining us.